was too aggressive.
What, your sniffles or my grunt?
That was not a sniffle, Nicole. That was a snort, if it was anything.
Yours or mine?
Mine.
Yes, it was something, and I just was trying to give you an out.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah, hi guys. Welcome back to It's Cool Us 2. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, and also I feel like I'm in like the perfect podcasting mood.
Same.
I'm in a real fucking weird mood.
I'm in the pocket.
Yes, we're in the pocket. We're in like good. It's so just to set the scene here. It's 4:30 Eastern
on a Friday.
I don't know why I'm going into detail about the time zone. It's 4:30 on a Friday, and both of us went on dates last night, and they were good. They're new, so we can't go into too much detail because
a lady never tells.
A lady never tells. But on my end, I had several cocktails, so I wasn't feeling amazing today. I think I'm through the worst of it. But
I mean, thank the Lord. I didn't drink because I've been drinking for a week and a half straight. He was very understanding.
That's good. I'm glad. And also, like, props to you. You don't always have to drink on dates.
No. Yeah. It wasn't also a first date, so that kind of helped.
Yeah, that does help. First date is hard to not go for drinks.
Yeah. Unless you go for coffee, but that's a whole other thing.
Or a walk.
Oh, man, do not bring me back to my Bridgerton era. That was peak COVID for me. The amount of promenades I went on during COVID with men off of Hinge.
I was saying to someone the other day, I went on a date during COVID. They were like, what is like one of your worst dates? And like, bless this guy's heart. Like, there's nothing wrong with this guy, but it just like wasn't a match on my end. Like, I wasn't feeling it, but it was during COVID. And so he planned this walk through like this like forested region of Toronto, like the Brickworks area. And it was like snowing. And though I didn't know when the walk was going to end. And I started to get so panicked. Because I was like, I don't know how many talking points I have left in me, frankly. Like, I don't have a lot to say. I don't really want to be on this date anymore. But he's set up this, like, specific walking route. Tour. And he's, how do you ask politely on a date?
You don't.
How much longer? It's like when you're in a car with your parents when you're little and you're like,
are we there yet?
Are we there yet? Like, I just want to be like, sir, are we there yet? Or like, are we close? Like, I don't know where you're taking me. But yeah, that's one of my worst dates.
So I went out with my sister the other night, which we'll get to in a second, because I saw material lists and I have things to say. But we were talking about early dating because she was asking me about like sharing, like I share my location with my sister and I usually give her details on guys I'm going out with, just in the off chance I don't come home. Safety first, ladies. And we were reminiscing, and like one of the first dates I went on since I've been single, I drove ages to get to this guy's place because it was COVID. So nothing was open. You couldn't do anything. And he lived outside of Ottawa. And we called him Sheep Man. Because I think he lived on a sheep.
I was literally about to say, is it Sheep Man?
Everyone has a nickname. And I wasn't looking at my phone on when I was there, and it was late. Like I stayed later than I anticipated. And my sister was like beside herself I had like 20 messages and FaceTimes from my sister that night when I was trying to get home. She was like, are you dead? Do I have to send police? And even last summer, there was a guy I went out with, and I didn't share my location with her yet. Now she stalks me she's like, I just watch your little memoji like bopping down the highway on your location.
That's like totally, sorry to interrupt you, but that's totally like some people have that trait and some people don't. Like, I don't watch people's location.
No, but like if my sister was waiting for me the other night and she was like, I didn't bother asking where you were because I was just watching you and could see you were like normal, 5 minutes out.
But some people literally just are like, I just want to see
where you are.
And it's
couldn't care less.
I never do that.
No, it's really a safety thing for me. But I texted her being like, I'm coming to yours because she lived downtown at the time. And me and this guy ended up just making out all over downtown, taking our time to get there. So when I got to her house, I literally got to her door, and like her and Jay opened the door at the same time with their shoes on, and she was fuming. She's like, I was coming out to look for you. She's like, I made Jay put on clothes. We were going to go and find you.
That's a good sister.
She's a great sister.
That's a good sister.
Anyways, but
materialist.
Fuck me, was this a mismarketed movie? I have never felt more misled by a trailer in my life. Not a rom-com. Not a rom-com in the slightest.
Okay, but I don't want to get in a fight with you.
Just say it.
I don't know if it was marketed as a rom-com.
It looks like it was. It looked like it had more like cutesy.
I think it was marketed as like a rom-drom.
Really? Okay, well, you and I saw different marketing then. Maybe are you influenced, just as a side note, have you been influenced by what people have been saying on TikTok about it?
There's definitely a possibility of, no, I haven't been on TikTok in a few days, but I listened to Tinks's podcast on Wednesday and she was talking about it.
Yes.
So that might be why. But I think I saw, this is like so uninteresting. I think I just saw a couple trailers because I was so excited to see this movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. But I was like, there was one of the teaser trailers that was like more serious.
Okay, possibly.
And then there was one that, like, you're right, the one that we both shared with each other on TikTok that was more upbeat. Even
if you think you knew what drama you were in, like, it just kept getting darker and like more depressing and more. And as a single woman watching this movie with my sister, I looked at her at one point and like, we came out, and first of all, so she left and she's like, I think that was the worst movie I've ever seen. she's like, it was bad. And then it just kept getting worse. And she's like, we didn't see Chris Evans shirtless once. What was this?
That's not fair.
There was no real like love scenes. It was all just quick kisses and stuff. Like it wasn't, there was like one makeout scene in a hall with like Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal, but like there wasn't the like, it didn't have the same like, and you know I'm a connoisseur of romance genre stuff. So
do you know who the director of the movie was?
I know of her now, but I didn't know going into it.
Oh, yeah.
So I just felt a little bamboozled. And let me tell you, she's sitting there basically talking about how people are like their value in the marketplace as it relates to dating. And it's like, well, you're too tall, you're not tall enough, or you're too fat, or you're not this, or you don't make enough money, or you're too old. And it's like I'm like, oh my God, like more depressing. I literally had like a panic crash out cry with my sister in the parking lot being like, oh my God, I'm too tall, I'm too old, I'm too this, like blah, 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 for like 5 minutes. And she was like, please go home and just talk to ChatGPT and I think you'll be fine. But it was just not good. And I think I was just in the mood for something different.
Yeah.
And I was misserved.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And a lot of people are saying that. Like, you're definitely not alone.
No.
I think the whole, like, what Tinks was saying is the pauses between the dialogue were, like, excruciating. Like, she's like, why? She's like, I could have put the whole thing into TikTok and edited 45 minutes out. Like, I don't know why there was so many long pauses, because she was also saying that Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson didn't really have much chemistry.
They didn't at all.
She's like,
it was really weird.
It was like weird.
I'm like, you're selling me this poor man propaganda basically to like fall for a guy who has nothing, has not changed in 10 years, can't articulate why he loves you beyond the fact that he just does. And I'm watching you guys have as much chemistry as 2 cans of Coke. Like, there was just nothing there. And that was hard to kind of,
I'm sorry.
That's my review.
Your loss.
It's not really a loss. It's just an annoyance more than anything. But
sorry for your loss.
Anyways, that was, I mean, it was still like a nice night, like a nice night out with my sister. And it was our, I like very much misled people on my Instagram because she took a very cute photo of me and posted it and I reposted
that was
it.
Confusing.
Right. And be like, last sister date before my baby niece arrives. And everyone's like, oh my God, is she getting induced tomorrow? I was like, oh, No, I just mean we're probably not going to get much one. We're not going to see each other one-on-one in the next like 2 weeks before she's due.
To be honest, like I talk to you every day and I asked you the same question.
100%. I was like, I miscalculated this big time. Yeah. And in other news, we were with each other over the weekend.
We were. We had a pretty busy weekend. One of our best friends, Emily, who's on the pod, got married. And I was the MC, and both
you did a fabulous job. Well done for you.
Thanks, babe. I was honestly not too worried. Like, so the day of, Nicole and I and one of our other friends got ready with Em and her sister, which was so fun. To get like super glammed up. I was so tanned. I'm actually sad that we didn't do a recording while I was that tan. I've never been that tanned in my life.
Can I just say I owe you an apology because I, like 1 or 2 episodes ago, shit-talked self-tan. And I've shit-talked you self-tanning in your apartment and walking around naked. And what did I do Saturday morning?
Walked around naked in my hotel room. Walked around naked in my apartment.
Yeah. Self-tanning.
With self-tan on.
Yes.
Not just to be naked.
Yes, and one of my buys of this month is going to be that Loving Tan 2-Hour Express because I've never been more impressed with the product in my life.
Yeah, and you didn't even keep it on for like
the 2 hours.
2 hours.
But I just wanted to like publicly apologize.
Thanks for saying that. It's been eating away at me.
I figured it was. It's been a little weird. Yeah. The vibe's been off. So
yeah, we've been struggling. So I'm glad we worked that out on air. No, yeah, it was so fun. Like getting super dressed up. I went for a wet hair look, which was super fun.
So hot.
Definitely gonna try and recreate that. Although it was funny, the hairstylist was like, I really want to try and recreate this. She's like, okay, I don't know that you'll be able to. She's done my hair before and she knows that I don't have a lot of hair skills. So I think it's harder than it appears. And yeah, the wedding itself was just like stunning. It was at a hotel in downtown Toronto. And a gorgeous ballroom. Really
she was
DJ.
Stunning, and you could see how in love they were.
I know,
like their first dance really together. Special. I like was on. I would literally basically did like a deep lunge to get a video of them doing their first dance. No. It was great.
There's no one quite like Nicole.
I know where you're going with this.
With a camera, like Nicole at a sentimental moment or an important moment in someone's life. Nicole would tear someone to shreds to get the shot.
100%.
And it is, we all know it, and it's amazing because none of us have to do it.
But you're making fun of me while I'm doing it.
At one point, Nicole was running around a circle of us, taking a video on the dance floor. And she looked like she was the paid videographer.
Yeah.
Like, other than the fact that you looked like you were dressed to come to a black tie wedding. If someone had, on. If I was like a different person who didn't know our group of friends and said like, oh yeah, that's the videographer, I would have been like, yeah, that checks out. This is her job.
Working.
She's working. But no, it was amazing. All the good feels. And
we had such a good time on the dance floor. All of our girlfriends at the end of the night with Em. Honestly, it's not a wedding with our group of friends until Any Man of Mine comes on. And we turn into a feral group of women.
I mean, speaking of feral, classic me versus Nicole. Nicole like puts herself to bed at like a reasonable hour.
1:30, but yeah.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
And I decided it's a really good idea to have drinks with a few people back at my apartment. Go to bed at like 3:30. And then we're getting up for breakfast the next day. And I was like, just like this sad little puppy, like after breakfast, following Nicole and our friend Kelly back up to their hotel room, just being like, why do I always have to get feral? Like, why?
You also shut up.
You were put myself to bed.
You were so cute. You looked like a kid going off to camp. Between your like printed shorts, your backpack, and your baseball cap, and you
Emily
had this look.
Are you going to the cottage? And I was like, no.
You had this look on your face. It was like the same look when your parents left you at Queens in first year.
I was in a bad way.
Rough
a bad way. Nicole's like, I'm a little bit sleepy. And I was like, I can't feel my face.
Yeah. And like poor Meg, because I, prior to this, was in Victoria for a few days and I flew back early. I landed in Toronto at midnight, didn't make it to yours till 1 a.m. And thankfully, and we were up at what, 6?
Yeah, it was
Like it
6:30,
was
I think. It was
rough. We were on some good vibes.
yes.
Pop
It's the
on,
adrenaline.
going to the chapel, going to get married, and everything changes.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Also, I was in Victoria.
Yeah, tell the listeners.
I went whale watching. Guys, this is why you don't get your hopes up. I was really hoping to see humpback whales. I was told it was possible. It's not like they're like out of season or something, but we didn't see humpbacks. We saw a pod of orcas. Now, it was still very magical to see them, and it was cool, but you're also so far away, so you can't really see much. I will put a picture in the newsletter. But yeah, it was not as an emotional of an experience for me as I was hoping for. But I did feel very vindicated because I call these fuckers little serial killers of the sea. I'm swearing way too much today. I apologize for anyone listening. But yeah, we're in such weird moods today. The guide, who was freaking hilarious, I kept being like, well, where are the whales? She's like, in the water. I was like, okay, well.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah,
like,
but she was so funny. She was British. She was from Wales, actually.
Get it?
And she was explaining, she's like, so you can see that the big guy is up here right now, but two of the little ones haven't really surfaced. And she's like, I would venture a guess that they're probably holding down their lunch right now. And the big guy's coming down to make the final kill. And she's like, we may see a pile of blood come up to the surface of the water at some point. And she's like, orcas are known to play with their food before they eat it. They're known to just kill things without the intention of eating it. She's like, they're little terrors. And I was like, exactly, little serial killers of the fucking sea. So I felt vindicated with that.
Wow. Yeah. I'm sorry it was a bit of a disappointment.
It was still lovely. I'd never seen whales in person before. So like beggars cannot be choosers. But I just hope my board's prepared because now every time we're on the coast, I'm taking another stab at it.
You're like, and we're going whale watching again.
Oh man.
Okay, should we actually get into the topic for today?
We do, but we have one more update because we received a very...
Oh my God, our best update.
It's the best update. We're saving the best update for last. We received, both Meg and I were sending a message back and forth because when we get messages from people we don't know,
it's so exciting.
We send a message to them and be like, oh my God, did you see this? Like it literally makes our entire day. And we received the sweetest message from a girl named Faye from Australia.
Faye.
And it was just so sweet and it made our day and we wrote her back, but we wanted to give her a shout out because it really it made our day.
Yeah, Faye, you don't know how much that stuff means. Like, and it's not even, it's just getting any feedback too. Like any feedback. And the fact that Faye mentioned that she loves our updates in the beginning and like our dynamic. And that's like what we hope is the good shit about this. Not the FaceTime with friends, our life updates, but the FaceTiming with a friend vibe of like, you just feel really comfortable and cozy. And so, yeah, thank you for saying that. It means the world. And, if anyone else wants to DM us and tell us how much they love us, then feel free.
I feel like you just, okay. It was so nice there for a second.
God, I had to be sarcastic.
I know. But we did. It really did make our day. Like I cried.
Yeah. Nicole was very choked up. I was stunned.
You're also hungover this morning.
Stunned. Yes, I was quite hungover.
Okay. So on to today's episode. We were noodling around on some different ideas. And there's a few we have coming up, but they just didn't feel like the vibe for today. And one thing that I think both of us have been feeling in different ways is our age, or maybe how we're being perceived at our age versus maybe how young we feel in certain situations. I don't know. Age is we're in a kind of weird gray zone in our mid
Yeah.
30s.
I think like when you're like I think we thought a lot more about what it was going to feel like
Yeah.
sort of at the end of your 20s. Like when you're like when you're aging out of being like, super young 20s and how that's a weird feeling. Did not really think that much about my mid to late 30s and how that would feel. And you know why? I was reflecting on this when I was doing some Googling for this episode. Like, I just thought I was gonna have everything that I thought I wanted when I was in my late 20s. I was like, I'll be married, I'll probably have kids. I just figured like my whole life would be like quote unquote sorted.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a thing going on that I've talked to some of my friends about, and I know Cole and I've talked about it. Like, I'm sort of having this weird pivot into like, oh, what does life look like now that I'm in my late 30s, and how do I feel?
How dare you?
Sorry, mid 30s. Or how do I feel about like the move, and what am I noticing about being in your mid 30s and, transitioning into your later 30s that you just didn't think was going to be a thing this early, I guess.
Back pain?
We're not young, but we're not old.
Yeah.
Why are you not saying anything?
Oh, I did. I think you just missed it. I was like, back pain.
Oh, back pain. Yes. Oh, a lot of back pain. A lot of back pain.
I also just feel like my hips, like everything cracks all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I noticed the most. I also feel like my digestion's all out of whack. I don't know what the cause of the issue is there, but we can assume age has something to do with it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's untrue. Like, what are the things that have surprised you about this time of your life?
I don't know, just how not together I feel.
Fair.
Genuinely. I also just feel like the amount that I hate wearing pants now.
See, I've always been on that train.
I've not.
I've never liked wearing pants.
I've always been a big jeans girl, and I still am. But like, I cannot wait to get home and just take off my pants at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think there's like the bigger things of like, I'm not where I thought I was going to be at this age, in some respects. And in some respects, I feel like I'm further along than I thought I was going to be. So it's interesting to compare where you're at with where you thought you'd be.
I feel
then there's just like,
sorry,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there's like little things that I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm at this age where like, just like thinking about my body of like, I feel like I have like a weird, like some necklines now.
Tech neck?
Well, I have that for sure, but I'm noticing like a jowls sort of situation.
Gua sha. I started noticing some, like my double chin's kind of coming out a little bit here. It was a bit better. I've been gua shaing my stuff like crazy because I'm like, I can't be, like, this is insane. The other thing is my skin's getting way more dry.
Oh,
like
that's not happening to me.
Way more dry. So like that is something that I'm noticing I have to like moisturize more.
My eyebrows are getting like kind of weird. Like they're like a little wiry or something. Like, I don't know, but they get really like the ends, like I really have to like tame them in a way that I never used to have to.
I used to be able to like regrow parts on my brows, and I just have like a permanent bald spot that's like not coming back. Yeah, me too.
Is that age? I thought I just plucked it.
I don't know. I just don't want to take any responsibility for anything. I feel like the other thing that's really kind of fucked as I'm dating now, because I'm not on birth control. The likelihood of me getting pregnant by accident is actually like not that high. So you spend so much of your time in your 20s trying not to get pregnant. And then now I'm like, I feel like some serious math is going to need to be involved when I'm ready to.
Okay, I have a story. I completely agree with you, by the way. I was thinking
Okay.
about this the other day. So I went to the chiro this morning. I love my chiropractor. She's like 45,
Mm-hmm.
46. And she was like, how's everything going? Whatever. And I was like, I went on a date last night. I'm like actually feeling a little worse for wear, whatever. And she was like, how old are you? I was like 36. She's like, oh, I got pregnant at 36. And I was like, oh, wow, awesome. And I know she's divorced because we've talked about this before. And she was like, yeah, it was the first time that I hooked up with a man I had been seeing for a month. It was their first time having sex, and she got pregnant by accident. 36. And I was like, what? She's like, I know, it's insane. And she's like, he's a horrible person. Like, they didn't stay together. But she kept the baby because she wanted to have a kid really bad. But yeah, 36, she got pregnant by accident. So it does happen. But I've been like sort of, because I get really anxious that I'm going to get pregnant all the time after I have sex. Sorry, mom and dad. I get really anxious. And then I'm like, and I've been telling myself, it's so unlikely. Your eggs are dying. It's fine.
By Christmas, we're both knocked up. Like,
yeah. Single girl summer.
oh man.
Oh God.
But yeah, I feel like just that mentality of like you try so hard and then you're like, wait a second.
I know, it's weird.
I don't think I need to be caring as much about this right now.
It's such a strange transition from like, we just spent so much time being worried about it. And now I'm like worried that I can't get pregnant.
Yeah, it's a very weird mind fuck.
Yeah. Weird fuck.
I don't know why. I'm losing it today. One of the other places of my life where I'm in a weird spot is work. So I simultaneously feel too young and too old, depending on the situation.
Oh,
so,
interesting.
Like, I'm in an executive role. You wouldn't know by listening to this podcast. That's a whole other issue.
Not an issue.
But no, more I mean like I feel like I'm a immature baby on this podcast sometimes.
Oh. Right.
I can be grown up. When I'm at work and I'm dealing with senior people, especially people external or like some of our stakeholders, board, volunteers, etc. There's just like this weird thing where I'm like, I'm significantly younger than a lot of people around the table.
Yeah.
And you get this weird imposter feeling, syndrome feeling. And it's this weird thinking then at the same time, I'm like, oh, but I'm not young enough to fit in with like the younger kids or the younger generation at work. So it's like, I'm like, if I wasn't in the position that I'm into, would I have different relationships with people around the office? But I'm also in a position of authority and like leadership. It's just like this weird kind of in between
that really
space.
Sucks. Like, do you feel that with like because you have good friends at work, like that work sort of similar or same level to you, right?
Yeah, like there's probably only one or two that are the same level as me. And we have good working relationships, but like I'm closer to people that are not in the same level. And it's hard sometimes because like you want to connect with them and you want to, because just I think naturally we're more alike or more similar. But I have to always constantly remind myself, you're in a different like level of power to them. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think that because my company's bigger, I feel that less.
Maybe.
I definitely feel the like being the only like woman in a room sometimes.
I feel that too, yeah.
But in terms of like where I'm at with my age, I think all the time, and when they say that like imposter syndrome doesn't go away, or like that feeling of like, how am I in charge of this thing?
Anything?
Like that feeling. I agree that it doesn't go away completely, but I would say that it does sort of the voice gets quieter.
Well, you
If
start
you,
building evidence.
yes, if you work hard to like make it quieter, like it does work. Um, but I would say that's more the thing I experience at work these days is like the, oh my God, how am I like talking like this? And how am I leading this meeting? And not usually in the moment, thankfully, because that would be tough, but it just reflecting on my week, I'm like I do really miss, I'm like nostalgic for like when I was just sitting in a meeting and I wasn't
Oh my
leading.
God. When you could just attend.
Oh, and even now when you're sitting, I know this is like so annoying. It's like very
It's a
like,
very
oh my God, it
privileged thing to
sucks.
say
It's a
for
very privileged thing
100%.
to complain about. But there are times where I'm just like, because even when it's not my meeting, I need to be listening so that I can correct something. Do you find that you have to be like really engaged because if something is said that you think someone on your team needs to know about, or it's like been misconstrued or whatever, I need to be able to step in and like speak intelligently on that. And so it's just I find my weeks more exhausting now because
I
of
just feel
that.
like
And again, very
emotionally,
lucky.
I feel like it's the emotional burnout that comes with it. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Um, I have a question for you because both of us have been in the companies we're at and have progressed to the points we're at internally as internal candidates. Do you feel like you would have any level of self doubt or imposter syndrome if you were to apply for a job of a similar level at another company?
Yes.
Yeah, like I feel like I'd be like, well, I'm not qualified for this.
Yeah. I'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'd feel that way.
Yeah, I'm
That
like,
would
I'm
scare
just a
me.
baby. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm just a baby.
Yeah. Um, okay, well that was
Another thing that I'm feeling, another area of my life that I'm finding like kind of weird is like personal style and like how I
okay.
dress myself. I would say I like to dress a little bit like a little boy,
I would
you
agree.
know?
Yes.
Yeah. That's sort of my
You're a
like
band
thing.
t-shirt and short kind of girl.
Yeah. And I think that's still my fave. But I don't know, like maybe it's because Cole, you've always sort of dressed more grown up. Like you've always, I don't know, you've always liked like blazers.
Yeah, I'm a blazer girl through and through.
I fucking hate a blazer.
Oh, but here's my thing. I'm a jean, like I will wear jeans to the office and I'll just toss a blazer and like a bodysuit and I'll toss a blazer over top of it. I feel like in the last few years, I've gotten more casual with my style because I just don't care as much
Yeah.
anymore. Like I would wear like suits or skirts or dresses and trousers and all this stuff like day to day. And I'm like, people can only see me from here up. Like I'm not having external meetings. If I'm in like at like a work event or something, yes, I'll dress up. But I feel like over the last few years, I've just gotten more casual in how I'm showing up. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just like have kind of
Yeah.
settled into a bit more of a uniform that I
No,
immediately take
okay.
off when I'm through the door.
That's true. I've also settled into more of like a uniform, I think. Like I went shopping with with our friend Sam a few weeks ago, and it was so funny. We were like wandering around the stores, just being like, I don't like anything in here. Like we went to H&M. Obviously, we didn't go to like, the stores for young people, but we went to like Mango and like a bunch of other places. And then I was like, we went to Uniqlo, and that's where we spent our money. Because I was like, there's really good, nice basics. I know that like I'll probably wear some like different jewelry. I'll jazz it up that way. But all I really want to wear is like
A t-shirt.
great jeans and like a great t-shirt. Truthfully.
Do you know what? I feel such judgment from young girls when I walk into something like Dynamite. And I love Dynamite.
Really?
Yeah, and maybe it's in my head, but they're like, what is this old hag doing in here?
I don't think they're thinking that.
No, I know, but like that's the like mentality.
That's like, yeah,
That's
that makes you
the
nervous.
yeah. I'm like,
If I were to go into Urban Outfitters and like actually shop now, I think I would feel that way.
oh my god, where was I with my sister? We were in the last time I was in Toronto with my sister. When we drove back, we stopped in
Yeah.
Kingston. I went to go to Heel Boy, and she was like, let's just like stop into Urban Outfitters. Like the Urban Outfitters, all of us, Megan.
Oh my god, I
I've
spent so
never
much money at that Urban
felt
Outfitters.
like a senior citizen more in my life.
Why
This
is everything so small? Why is everything so small?
and see-through.
And it's so
I'm
see-through.
sorry,
And I'm
can
like,
someone explain a mini bubble hem to me? Like a mini dress with a bubble hem. That is criminal.
oh my God, you know what I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but like those, when we were in high school and the like Hollister had those like mini skirts that had like the frill along the bottom.
Okay, yeah. Not the same
That's
thing, but
come
yeah.
back now.
Megan, so many things have come back. And
That
like
has
that in
come
of
back.
itself,
And I'm like,
experiencing
I'm
things that
triggered by
yeah,
that.
experiencing things that I used to wear, I'm like, hard no. When low-rise jeans came on, I nearly had an aneurysm.
Do you remember Dorina's?
No.
The
We've
1 inch
talked about
zipper
this.
jeans?
We've talked about this before. I think this was a West Coast thing.
Okay. Anyways, that's coming back. That really low rise. Like, I'm watching Love Island right now. Me and Teresa were watching it together on Wednesday. We were like dying of laughter because Ariana, oh my God, queen, she looks unbelievable. But she's wearing this dress that's like across her boobs and then the whole front of it down to like right before her vagina is open. Like, it's like, and she's got like these like insane abs. And I turned to Teresa and I was like, that's like literally my worst nightmare, to wear something like that. To like basically have all of the parts of your body that I would be the most insecure about, just like fully like open and like on display.
Shan't be
She's
me.
like, yeah, you couldn't pay me to wear that. Like, I
Shan't be
couldn't
me.
imagine. But that's the thing now, is like super low,
Yeah.
like showing your tummy. Like,
We're just like crotchety old women now when it comes to
also, I
fashion.
sound like my mom. Like, when
I
we went into
know.
Urban Outfitters, I would always she'd be like, why do you have to show your tummy? And now I'm saying that.
I know. Ugh.
It's just basically, I know we're getting into like, specifics, but I think it's just there's something going on for me around personal style and what I think it's sort of a reaction to like something that's always made me so sad, not just with like older women, but anyone, is when they say like, I can't pull that off. Like, that always makes me really, really sad. And I think as women get older, there's this idea of like, is it appropriate for me to wear this? Like, is this okay for me to wear it? And I think so I'm sort of reacting to that idea of, I don't want to take that on, but I also am starting to be like, should I be shopping in this store? Like,
Yeah.
is this an okay thing for me to wear at my age? Like, and I'm trying to rail against that, but it feels weird.
No, 100%. I also feel like where in past I might be with like wear like a really funky dress out to dinner. I feel like, pardon that burp. I feel like I'm transitioning more like I would wear this like with my like, pardon my boobs coming out, but like my bra out, kind of tucked in a little like haphazardly.
Yeah.
With like a pair of heels and jeans. Like I'm more leaning into stuff like that now when I go out versus like give me the tight bodycon dress or the like cropped top kind of vibe. The other thing that's really changed for me, and you know my love of shoes and the collection that I had, like I have a pair of shoes that I've literally never worn that I'm selling. They're like 6 inches high. They're Sam Edelman's. I can't buy a pair of shoes if either the toe isn't wide enough for my footbed or it's not a block heel. I can't do a stiletto because I will wear it for an hour.
You heard it here first, people.
No, like I can't be bothered. Before I was like, no, pain is beauty. Like it's fine. And now I'm just like,
I'm shocked that you're saying this.
I'm not going to wear it. Unless I find magically a pair of stilettos that like don't hurt my feet and like have really good cushion and support, and maybe they're out there, I don't know. I'm like, I'm not going to spend my money on them.
I've never owned a pair of stilettos. So this isn't a transition for me, but this is a big transition for you.
Yeah. My feet just can't handle it anymore.
Honestly. And yeah, we were talking about this before, but like home clothes, like I have so many just comfortable clothes that I only wear in the home.
Oh yeah. I have an entire drawer that's just like easy, comfy.
Yeah.
Ugh. When you were growing up, did you ever look at movies where you'd see these like actresses in like their home clothes? They would like be like corporate girls and they'd come home from, and they'd be like in these cute like off the
linen
shoulder,
sets.
like
Yeah.
cashmere
Like a
shirts
Nancy
and stuff.
Meyers movie.
100%.
Yeah.
I look like I've belong in a sewer when I'm in my
Yeah.
mom clothes.
Oh my God, I really want Paige DeSorbo's new
Daphne
bedline or
I know.
bedline. Yeah. I really want some of that in my life. That oversized t-shirt is like me all over.
I know.
Oh.
The other thing that's changed in terms of what gets me going, where it used to be clothes and shoes, now I'm like, I'm really perusing some new sheets, and it's really turning me on.
Oh, I love buying sheets.
Right? Like that's what
That
gets
is
me.
something that's changed though. Is like I never understood when I was a kid or when I was younger even, like caring a lot about the things you put in your house.
No.
I think I used to kind of make fun of people who cared a lot about that. I was like, oh, who cares what chair you have or whatever. And now I'm like painstakingly going through like furniture websites being like, I must find the perfect
like
side
antique,
chair.
mid-century modern, like
Oh God, antiquing?
going to HomeSense.
Oh, I love going to HomeSense.
Get me a coffee on a Sunday morning and let me just walk around a HomeSense with nowhere else to be, happy as a clam.
I get brunch now. I understand. I never used to get it because guess what? I was a party girl. So
I've gotten brunch for a while, but yeah, I get this.
What? Yeah. You're like, Megan, it's actually pretty late in life for you to be getting brunch. But no, I get it now. I'm like, brunch is great.
Yeah. I also got mammed on my trip, like my travel, by an Air Canada lady, and it ruined my entire day.
What would you rather she calls you?
Nothing.
Miss?
Yes, miss.
Miss, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Ma'am feels really sad, although I've been watching a lot of Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Same.
And they all call Coach Kelly ma'am.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm like, that's very...
But it's very maternal, and she's in her, like,
maternal.
what, 50s, 60s? Like...
Yeah, we're so young compared to Kelly. Kelly?
I don't know what's going on with you. We are in weird moods, and I feel like our energy is going...
Yeah. I think we need to close this off. I know this was an interesting... We're going to post a lot of this on social because...
This was a yappy episode.
There are so many things that we've been feeling. I think, like, one of the things that came up for me just on the more existential side is this idea of being like, okay, is this it now? While also simultaneously being like, okay, like, is this all it is? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And I've never been able to articulate this feeling before in multiple aspects of my life.
Yeah. Yeah. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot of like, okay,
like, when do people just,
it.
They're just like, yeah, this is it. Like, when do people ever feel that way?
No, I don't think so. And I think we thought that we would.
Such a lie.
I don't even think like our parents, like, I don't think that my mom is like, okay, this is it. Because life changes like all the time. Man. And the goalposts move and
I don't like it.
It's exhausting.
I don't like it. I don't like being an adult. I just want to be a kid forever. I just want to like have a summer. Like I want to be like Belly in The Summer I Turned Pretty, not with the drama of like the brothers and stuff. Like that's a bit too much for me. But like I just want to like just have a summer on the beach in a beach town with no responsibilities.
I just think we should get summers off, you know?
I really feel strongly about this in my
to get
bones.
Summers off as adults.
Anyways, we were lied to. That's the summary of this episode. And it's all fucking downhill from here.
We started this on a high.
Yeah, now I just needed like my... I was talking to someone too at when I was traveling for work. They were talking about a bunch of their guy friends. They're older, they're like in their late 40s, early 50s. Just a side note, talking about how their buddies are maybe dating again because they're going through a divorce or things like that. And they're like, yeah, it's rough. I'm like, listen, I could fucking tell you some stories about what is out there in the world. Like, you think it's rough re-entering the dating scene as a 50-year-old man? I guarantee you, I will one up you.
Yeah. It's wild
Anyways,
out there.
I
But
don't
we're
I don't
doing
even
it.
smoke, but I feel like I'd be very like attractive as a smoker, but like not. Do you know what I mean?
You have nice hands.
Yeah. Anyways, talk to you guys soon.
We'll talk to you guys soon. We love you. That's all. Okay, bye.
Bye.